in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you, 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 won't you let the light shine through? In the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you, 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 In the sky, gazing far into the night, I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you. In the sky, gazing far into the night, I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you.
Other stable coins as well, but that might come, much later on. But once we kind of have that coming in terms of the our own stable coin, that opens up the door automatically for everything else that we can bridge through them, or in partnership with them. So it's been quite a while in the making. We did say it was going to be done by end of year or before end of year. Definitely before the multi-chain. It's done now 3 weeks before that, or more than 3 weeks before that. So with that said, I'm going to go into a little bit further detail on basically what are the details of the bridge or the stable coin, what can be done, what can't be done at the moment, and what's in progress, and so on. So, of course, like I said, we bridge USDT from the Ethereum chain over to USDB. That's pretty straightforward. The bridge is one-to-one. So if you bridge one USDT, you get an equivalent. And the addition, and that's important for people to know, is that on both sides, so if you're bridging USDT onto USDB on the Bitrock chain, or vice versa from USDB on the Bitrock chain back to USDT on ETH, there is a 0.5% bridging fee. So that's not gas. There's, of course, the gas of the chain that you're bridging from. So, for example, if you're bridging, let's say, 100 US, pay $0.5 as a fee for bridging, and then whatever the Ethereum gas is at the time that you're bridging. And then if you're bridging back 100 USDB, so USD Brock, from the Bitrock chain back to the Ethereum chain, you will again pay 0.5 USDB, and whatever the gas fee on the Bitrock chain, which is pretty much nothing. So you would basically be just paying 0.5 USDB. And for $100, that's honestly pretty good. So it's important to note. So basically, that's going to be deducted from what you're actually bridging. So just to understand, again, if I'm bridging 100 USDT from the Ethereum chain to the Bitrock chain, I will get 99.5 or sorry, 99.5 USDB on the Bitrock chain, and again, vice versa back to the Ethereum chain. So it is deducted from what you're bridging, that fee. The gas, of course, is an additional amount that has nothing to do with us. That's just, or I mean, the Ethereum side has nothing to do with us. That's just the gas fee on the chain. And same for Bitrock. So you would pay whatever the gas fee on the Bitrock chain is at the moment. So I hope that's clear enough for everyone. I do have more points to mention. So that's kind of the general flow of things for the kind of bridging side of things. Moreover, um, basically the kind of stable coin is structured like this. Again, on a very high level. And if you have any kind of technical questions, feel free to DM one of the team members, especially Bitrocker. He will be much more equipped than I am to answer, kind of more technical questions on the bridge or on the stable coin in general. But I'll try to explain as best as I can. So the stable coin is basically a deployed token, and it is going to have a liquidity pool added to it. It is going to basically be deployed at $1 or traded to $1 before an LP is added, or a full-on LP is added. Initially, we will have a 10K, so 10,000 USDB liquidity pool paired with Bitrock on the mainnet. So what that means is you will see a pair when it's live, and we share the contract address. You will see that there's a pair live for USDB on the Bitrock chain, against Brock, mainnet Brock, with a liquidity pool of around 10,000 USDB. And essentially, that will serve to stabilize the price at $1, keeping in mind that in the initial phase of implementation or integration of a stablecoin on a new chain, please understand that to start with, the value may fluctuate over or under $1. It happens with every stable. Of course, newer stables are kind of take some time to stabilize, but it will be stabilized. But essentially, the goal is to have an LP that's big enough for it to become a stable. And again, keep in mind that this is how many stables work. This is nothing new. But in the beginning, the price may fluctuate a little bit, but through bridging and adding to LP, because it depends again on how much is being added to the Bitrock USDB liquidity pool and how much is removed through trading, because it is a pair at the end of the day. So the price might fluctuate a little bit, but as the liquidity pool grows and grows and grows, it will stabilize more and more and more over time, eventually just settling at $1. Now, as is with any stable, if an extremely large amount is added or removed from the liquidity pool through trading, it may kind of spike, but it'll come back eventually to one, again, through bridging and trading and so on. But that's the general idea. Full reference, you may look at the stable coin that BRise or BitGert have on their chain. You can look at their chart. It does fluctuate as well, and it seems to be structured. I don't want to assume, but it seems to be kind of structured the same way that ours is. It wasn't really a reference for the development of our stablecoin. I know that for sure because I've spoken with the team, but um, it seems to be fairly similar. So you will see fluctuations, but eventually it does come back to one. And of course, again, as the liquidity pool grows and grows and grows, it will stabilize and the fluctuations will decrease in terms of size, and they will also decrease in terms of frequency as well. So please keep this in mind. And for everyone listening who sees a question about this in the chat, about fluctuations, please make sure to educate people and explain to them that this is normal for any new stable coin. It is not new. The only reason that, for example, USDT and USDC, which have been in the market for years and years and years and years, the reason that they still do fluctuate, but the reason they don't fluctuate as much is because they have billions in their liquidity pool, which of course takes so much time and money, obviously, but mostly time and years to stabilize like that. So it does happen, and it will stabilize over time. So that's something very important to keep in mind. And next thing is what can we do with this for now? So first of all, of course, you can maintain or store your assets on chain in USDB. So for people who kind of want to convert their Bitrock temporarily to USDB on chain, and then use that to buy something else or whatever. Um, so you can store your assets in USDB. That's number one, and that's I think something that most people were looking for, because same thing for Ethereum. If the value of Ethereum it's at a time where it fluctuates a lot. So for example, Ethereum was like at $2,000 like a week ago. Right now it's at 2,300. It could go the other way. It could be 2,000 and then now be 1,700. So for people who want to hedge themselves against fluctuations in the native token of the chain, uh, during periods of high fluctuation, they can store their assets in the stable coin and then keep it there until they want to bridge back or use it to trade or whatever they want to do. So, of course, that's the first use case. Number one. Number two, NFTs on the chain can be sold in USD Brock, so they don't have to be sold only in Bitrock anymore. So that's number two. Number three, utilities, certain utility projects, especially like casinos, do need a stable coin on the chain. So that's something very important also to expand the diversity of utility projects or utilities that can be developed and protocols as well that can be developed on the chain. And that's something that I think will increase the attraction of a lot of different teams to develop on the chain more than ever, especially again for casinos. And of course, then what cannot be done, or let's say what's in progress, because it requires extensive development, which will happen and it will come because it's been done as well on other chains, and the team is going to be working on it. There's no ETA on what I'm about to say right now, so please don't ask when. It is being worked on, and as you can see, the team is trying to deliver as much as possible, as fast as possible. But you can eventually use USDB to buy any token on the chain. And let me explain what I mean by this. One point I forgot to mention very quickly before I get to this is that, of course, you can use USDB to create new tokens and pair them against USDB. So typically, right now, all the tokens like RockSwap or Milestone Millions, Wrap Platform, Rockstar, all that type of stuff, they're all paired against Brock or WBrock, wrapped Bitrock. Now, what can happen with this USDB is you can directly pair a token's liquidity between that token and the stable USD Brock, rather than against Bitrock, which means if you do that, you can use USD Brock directly to buy that token on the chain without having to buy Brock first. Of course, you still need a little bit of Brock for gas because that is the kind of gas token on the chain, but you don't have to use your actual buying or swapping capital in Bitrock. You can just simply use USDB. Now, what happens if the token, and this is why, by the way, and this is why right now, because as of tomorrow, you will see, as I mentioned, that there will be a pair created on the chain between Bitrock and USDB. So with that 10K liquidity pool. So you'll see that tomorrow when we announce the contract address and so on. Um, but that means that for Bitrock, you can now buy that directly on the chain because there will be a pool with that pairing against USDB directly. So as long as there is a USDB pair, you can buy that token directly. So starting with Bitrock, right? So that means now you have MEXC, you have BitGet, you have Bitmart, whatever other exchanges we might be listed on or swaps or whatever. And then now you're able to, within reason, because the liquidity pool is 10K, but you can directly basically buy Bitrock on the chain with no tax as well, within reason, considering the liquidity pool. So if the price impact is too high, you can't do it. So most of the liquidity in terms of buying or selling Bitrock will still be on the Ethereum side for now. And as the stable coin stabilizes more and more, and the liquidity pool increases, and eventually you'll be able to buy and sell more and more. Okay, on chain. On chain, there is no tax, as you know. So if you do buy Bitrock directly through USDB on the chain, you will not be paying any tax. You will only be paying gas, which is near zero on chain anyway. But anyway, back to what is yet to come or what will be worked on is, um, and I see someone asking, what is the way to buy USDB? Essentially, you buy USDB, you don't buy it, you bridge it from USDT, from Ethereum back to the Bitrock side. Anyway, what is yet to come is one giant point, which I think it's guys, just keep in mind, this is nothing new. So it's not kind of something unique, but it is something that is very important, but it just takes a lot of development. And the team will be working on that. And essentially, that is the auto routing functionality on RockSwap, which means if there is an on chain token that is not paired against USDB, for example, RockSwap token, right now, you would not be able to use USDB to directly swap it to RockSwap token and vice versa. You would first have to get Brock. So you swap USDB to Brock, or WBrock, but at the moment Brock, and then you would use Brock to swap that to RockSwap. Why? Because at the moment there is no pool, liquidity pool for RockSwap token directly against USDB. It is only paired against Brock, and so you would need to buy Brock to buy you RockSwap token. Now, what is the team working on? It is a functionality which is available, or a feature available in certain, not too many, but certain um, big swaps or big chains at the moment, where even if the pair of the destination token you want to buy, let's say RockSwap token, even if that pair is not paired against USDB, but you want to use USDB, RockSwap will do the automatic routing for you. So you would swap USDB internally or automatically on RockSwap. It would get swapped to Brock or WBrock, and then it would get swapped to RockSwap. So essentially, it would save you one transaction for convenience. But keep in mind that, guys, this is not an issue at the moment because the gas fees for Bitrock chain are pretty much zero. So all it's really meaning for you right now is one additional transaction. Okay. So that's all. You're not paying $20 for gas or 30 or whatever it might be. You're just basically just doing two transactions instead of one. So you would have to do USDB to RockSwap, sorry, USDB to Brock, uh, or yeah, USDB to Brock. And then from Brock, you would do it to RockSwap, to Milestone Millions, to Wrapped Platform, whatever token you want to buy on chain. The only exception to this at the moment is if you want to buy mainnet Bitrock, so Brock, you can do that directly using USDB because there is a pool created that will be created for that tomorrow when the stablecoin is live and the announcement is made and so on. I hope that's clear for everyone. And guys, please, again, for those who are listening and understand what I'm saying, I hope I'm making sense. If you see anyone in the chat asking about this or trying to understand, even if you're not a mod, please feel free to, educate them or guide them, because I have a feeling that we might have some newer people who might not be as experienced with dealing on new chains. So if you have no issues with this and this makes a lot of sense, please, advise them and help them out nicely. And no question is stupid. So if this doesn't make sense, just tag a team member in the chat and we'll explain this to you. But in short, at the moment, you can use USDB in terms of trading. I mentioned a whole lot of things, but in terms of swapping, you can use it to directly swap for mainnet Bitrock. In terms of other tokens on the chain, once the auto routing functionality is developed, and there's no ETA for this, guys, because we have a multi-chain to focus on. So that will come definitely. But when that functionality is added, you can basically use USDB to swap for anything on chain, and it would automatically swap it to Brock internally and then swap that to your destination token. So I hope that makes sense. And I mean, I guess lastly, multi-chain, that's kind of the main focus of the team now. So anything else in terms of development internally from the team, of course, the team is still pursuing integrations with, different partners and wallets and stuff like that. But in terms of the main development efforts, it is going to be now the multi-chain. It hasn't stopped, but it's now about to be kind of full steam ahead to try and finish this before the end of the year. That's the latest info I have from the team. Other things like the auto routing functionality, as well as additional utilities for RockSwap, because I do see that some people ask, that is going to be next in line right after the multi-chain is done. So multi-chain is huge. It's a huge effort, guys. I don't think, some people just think it can be done overnight. It takes months and months and months. That's why most people or most swaps don't have it. But this is now about to be kind of the full focus of the team or the dev team. And once that's done, the attention, like I said, can be shifted back towards additional RockSwap utilities. So that's the team is focused on that as well. Don't worry, that will come. And then also the auto kind of routing or auto aggregating functionality on RockSwap itself. So there's a lot to come for RockSwap, but also there's things that are coming and continue coming for the Bitrock chain as a whole. And of course, the team is continued to the team is in talks with different teams right now for launching on chain in terms of partner projects. And I know, without mentioning anything in specific, I know that there have been quite a few new projects on chain, and existing ones have been doing quite well. So this is really nice to see. But I think this additional news and integrations and stuff like that, along with uh, current discussions between the team and other teams that want to launch on the chain, will end up in quite a few projects eventually coming on the chain as partner projects. But keep in mind, these discussions do take time. Some projects back out, some projects fail their KYC, some projects don't deliver on their promises. So when you ask when is the next partner project, keep these factors in mind, because when a team or when the Bitrock team partners with another project or another team as a partner project, they want to make sure that they're giving the community the best possible value. It doesn't just have to be a utility project. It can be essentially any type of project, but it has to fulfill the criteria that the team sets, and it has to be secure, relatively at least, as a partner project to launch on the chain. So there are a lot of factors that go into that. It is not that the team is not talking to anyone or it's too boring. Just please take that out of your head. It is simply because of the criteria and making sure that anyone who wants to be a partner project meets and passes these criteria and these requirements. So I hope this is all clear enough, guys. With that said, I will maybe take one or two questions, because honestly, I've been talking for quite a while. And again, in terms of kind of technical stuff, please make sure to try and direct those to Bitterrocker, especially him, because he's more knowledgeable than I am in that area, especially on stablecoins. And also, he, he asked that if anyone does have a technical question, to just DM him or tag him in the chat. But I'm just throwing him under the bus here. But anyway, seriously, if anyone has a question that they believe I can answer, I'd be more than happy to. Just raise your hand, or if you have a comment or want to say hi, we have time for maybe a couple. So go for it. Wow, no one, huh? Awesome. Or it's either that I did a really bad job, or maybe too good of a job. I guess I don't know. I guess we'll see, or we'll find out when the chat opens back up. We'll see what people think. But okay, we do have one request finally. It was about to be crickets in here, so Rodel, bro, go for it. I have just added you as a speaker. I don't know if you got my Rodel, bro. Do you want to say something, or was that by mistake? Go for it, mate.
It's working. It's working. Right. Just want to say one
Yep.
thing, guys. You're all doing a heck of a good job. I just want to say heads off. Everything comes together. It's all about patience. Bull run is coming. Bitrock is doing very well. I want to thank you for doing all this perfectly hosted AMAs, besides of all the Bitrock holders. And yeah, you're doing a good job. Let's wait, be patient, and trade USDB tomorrow.
Yep. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I just want to make sure people understand that, my job is mostly as a messenger, kind of in public AMAs like this, and really the effort goes to the team. Of course, yes, the way you deliver a message makes a difference. I agree. And in terms of being able to explain it to people, and that's my job. But at the same time, at least in AMAs like this, but at the same time, the team, the dev team especially, put in really just a crazy amount of effort, and just to kind of see uh, things kind of coming together like this, especially considering that, quote unquote, we haven't really entered a bull run full on just yet, is really nice to see that we're kind of building things up to be in as best of a shape as possible before then. But I just want to make sure that we do acknowledge the efforts that those guys put in, because honestly, they do they do a hell of a job. But thanks for the nice words, mate. I really
No
appreciate you
problem.
stepping in. Yeah, and
No
it's nice
problem.
to hear your voice, mate.
Oh, and one thing for all the Dutchies, because it's the 5th of December right now. In Holland, we call it pakjesavond, and you made our pakjesavond very good.
I'm happy to hear that that I've made your takishaven good.
Thanks, mate.
No worries, mate. I hope you have a good night, and we'll speak again soon. I think we have someone else who wants to speak. So Benoa. I'm sorry, I'm not sure how I say your name, but go for it, mate. Benoit, you have been unmuted. Go for it. All right, so maybe that was by mistake. All right. Well, if there's nothing else,
Hello. Hi,
then
guys.
we, yeah. Oh, hey, man.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I had to unmute my mic. First of all, I want to thank you
No
for
worries.
all the work that the team has done. You guys rocking hard, and it's. I wish I would find a project way before I found it. But my question is, why? And also, it's a question from the friends of mine that are also in Bitrock. Why wouldn't we have USDT on Bitrock and we have to bridge it? I mean, this is just a maybe technical thing that I don't understand, because many other chains have direct USDT on
Yep.
the chain. So yeah, that's all. And once again, thank you for all your work, guys. Fucking badass.
Thanks, man. I appreciate your kind words, honestly. Thanks for jumping in. I will give you the answer that I can give you, but maybe the team can maybe say something different in the chat. And if so, just, what I say might be correct, might not be. But to have USDT directly, I believe it has to come from Tether. And Tether, they have been very hard to reach. I know that the team have contacted them months ago, and I think I've mentioned this in multiple different AMAs before, um, going back to maybe 2 or 3 months even, or maybe 2 months or so. Um, they've been contacted multiple times, and the information that I have are either that they have replied, but things didn't work out for whatever reason. But most likely, I believe that they never replied. So the reason that simply, and again, keep in mind that a stable is a stable, but of course, there are different types of stables, and that gets too technical. But generally speaking, the short answer are because they have been extremely hard to reach. And if we continue waiting, um, that, for them to reply, and however long it actually takes to develop, and so on and so on, we'll never hear the end of it. And the stable will probably not be done until next year. And keep in mind, this is very important to mention. Keep in mind that just because we have one stable does not mean we can't have USDT as well. So that may still come. If there ends up being an answer from Tether, or a favorable deal that can be agreed on, if there's already been contact, if basically the two teams can come to terms, we can also possibly see USDT. So I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but it's just a matter of convenience, because again, a lot of people have been looking for a stable coin, and at the same time, there can be multiple. And through OneChain, so I believe OneChain also have USDC as well. So that may come as well in terms of USDC potentially. I don't want to
Wow.
speculate here because I'm just speaking from kind of just my own head at the moment. So please don't quote me on this, but essentially the partnership with OneChain opens doors to pretty much possibly any of the other tokens that they bridge. So that's Bitcoin, Ethereum, maybe USDC. Um, so essentially, it just really comes down to what the team could do with while also wanting to deliver on this milestone that they've set for themselves and make sure that they offer this as something on the chain for everyone because it is important and it's also important for me as well. I mean, keep in mind, guys, I'm generally an investor just like everyone else on a very basic level, and stablecoin makes a difference to me as well, especially for projects on the chain, and or on any other chain. So whether it's BUSD on Binance, USDT on Ethereum, USDD on Bitrock, it is a hell of a big deal to have a stable coin. And the development done was a lot of work. So, yeah, it might still come. I mean, just because we have one stable doesn't mean we can't have more. I hope that answers your question.
Cool. Sure, it really does. And I just want to add one more thing that, I mean, listening to the Amas of Bitrock, this is the most exciting and fulfilling Amas. I mean, great stuff, guys. I mean, seriously, it's like, holy shit, man. Great to be here. Thank you very much. And waiting for next one.
You're welcome, mate. Thank you for joining. Honestly, I appreciate everyone here that has taken time out of their day. Or that stuff. I don't know what that. Sorry, that sounded German. I don't know what that name was. That word was. Sorry, I forgot it. But yeah, that Dutch word, which is night. Taking time out of their night to join. But yeah, this is.
Pakjesavond.
Sorry.
Pakjesavond. That's something from St. Nicholas, like Christmas, but then 5th of December.
All right. Fair enough. But yeah, no, honestly, thanks to everyone. And I think we can maybe wrap it up here. Again, if you guys have questions, especially about stablecoin, please put them in the chat. Tag Bitterrocker if you want. Or if I'm able to answer them, I will as well. But if it's like too technical, then you can tag him or you can DM him. And with that said, hopefully, there was a lot of value here today. I think we hope that we've made people happy with these announcements. Keep in mind that there's a lot. We still have the multi-chain to look forward to, and I want to make sure that people understand that the team is really focused on the multi-chain now. So anything else in terms of the dev team effort can wait until at least they deliver on this. The goal is still end of year at the time of this AMA. I hope that doesn't change, but as of right now, because the stable coin took a little bit more time than anticipated, but as of right now, it is aimed to be by end of year. I'm just managing everyone's expectations. Keep in mind the team does deliver as fast as they can, and they try to deliver before deadlines as fast as they can, and the deadlines that they set for themselves. So we hope you guys understand and hope you have a great night or day, afternoon, wherever you might be. And we'll see you guys again at the next one. For those who are going to be listening to this later, again, if you have questions, please leave them in the chat. And my last message to the people tuned in here who have understood kind of more of the technical stuff that I might have mentioned, although I don't think it was too technical. If anyone asks in the chat a question that you feel you can answer, please help out the mods, please help out the team because our Telegram channel is really growing. It's over 6,000 members now, and there's a lot of new people joining. And questions can vary from very basic to advanced. So if you feel you can help in something that you understand, genuinely understand, and are not maybe unsure of, but you really understand, please help out in the community. And of course, I'm there as much as I can. The mods are there as well to correct anything or help people out if we need to step in. So yeah, see you guys in the next one, and have a great week ahead. See ya.
Thank you. Guten Abend.
Guten Abend, my friend.
eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true.